What's going on, everybody? Captain RoBear and crew here for Merrowstrand episode 0.
Why am I covered?
Yeah, wait, I want to be in. Am I behind his jump?
Giant, look at me.
The wrong scene! Yeah, there it is!
Welcome to Merrowstrand episode 0.
I was like, bro, I know my forehead's huge, but come on, give a guy a break. I'm
Waved at
old.
nothing.
It's a little sensitive, man.
My character's not gonna last that long. Got it. Okay. All right.
Nothing scuffed here.
Foreshadowing.
Hey guys, we're professionals.
Something like that. We're something.
Hi, chat.
Chat.
This is a ridiculous table. I love the characters we've got sitting here. I can't wait to see what you guys are gonna play.
Oh my gosh, it's excited.
Let's go.
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Dude.
Oh,
Here we go.
let's go. Get wrecked.
It's like Celeste Tuesdays all over again.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
That'll get outdated.
Maybe.
Yeah,
We're gonna be like deep into like RP. Everybody's gonna be about to cry, and all of a sudden you hear,
Yes!
A big boat host comes through.
Although
Oh, no.
I just noticed I'm the only one not wearing like black, so I'll be right back.
I
Got the memo.
don't have a normal speaking voice. I might go Alexor! I just have to shut it off.
All I have are funny effects.
You know, when you're 3 Voodoo Rangers deep into the back end of the show and you
Just a
don't
Ford
want
Tough
to... Yeah. Like a rock. You haven't even heard our Bush's Baked Bean commercial yet.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh God, please.
Cue the
Real
music.
American
We need
Bush's
Bush's baked beans.
I don't have the
35
fucking...
minutes of Bush's baked beans.
I don't have the song in this fucking profile, and if I did play it, it would just be 20 minutes of us cutting infomercials again. Call your friend you haven't
Prop
talked
number
to
one.
in
Give
the
me your
last
best
5
Bush's-
years. Tell him he's still fucking wrong. Bush's Baked Beans.
Will it play? Might be too low. There it is.
God damn it, radio.
I put a button here for a reason.
Does it display as Bush's baked beans?
You're a hero.
It's called Bush's faked beans.
Bush's faked beans.
How much of the clip do you have?
I have it on a button push.
Oh my God.
There he is.
It was a saucy night. I put that on there. I didn't remember where it was. I had to look it up in the tree. I'm like, where is that button? Where is that button? I know where my fart button is.
Priorities.
Yep. Welcome, everybody. If you got Voodoo Rangers, raise them. They're sponsors for another year because they have poor taste in both men and women now.
Wait a minute.
You like it. You know you want more of it.
It's so good. No code, just buy it.
No code, just buy it.
Everybody give our friend Ice Rocker a warm Voodoo Ranger welcome for finally breaking up the fucking Tuesday Boys Club.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I think that was the whole thing. It was like, I really need a woman to join it. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Oh, we've
I
known.
think I fit that.
Hey, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. All right, you're here.
What we don't know is eventually she's gonna grow a beard. So.
Who says I don't shave it down now? Actually, I have one. I have a wizard beard.
You're a hairy wizard.
You're a wizard.
A real Merkin.
Wizard.
What else can I
You're a
say to
wizard, Ice.
possibly get my sponsorship taken away on this screen?
All right.
I only redeem myself live event to live event, and then they have that 6 months where there's no con, and they're like, this guy's on the payroll for what? Oh yeah, he's the guy who shows up. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There he is.
We love you, Voodoo. Thanks for empowering our shenanigans. You're the best.
If you didn't have us if we didn't have you to power us, I don't know what we would do.
Is that our
What if
I don't know what I
big bad
do.
evil guy?
Fruit Force is actually one of our characters this time? This is it.
This is what you get.
Ranger,
Surprise,
man.
guys, that's my
The
character.
forbidden.
You know,
He's an undead warlock.
That's what I should have been. A voodoo ranger. God,
He's a hop elemental.
Act of the beer.
I'm gonna tell you, hey, for everybody that's out there right now that wants to do a D&D show that messages me about like all the different production shit we do, I'll be honest, if you just put your cast on the bottom, if you just invested in ping and put your cast down at the bottom, you'd have a lot better time than you trying to put together all the bullshit that I have to do before the production. If you just did this, your show would look 99 times fucking better and be easier to fucking run.
We yell at him every time. Quit putting us in boxes. We just want to hang out down here and touch each other. Out like, I can lick Adam's ear. And,
Hey.
I can't touch you from here, Feisty. You're so far away from me.
So
look at that. I already did the wrong arm.
we did an experiment. We did an experiment without nameplates and just rotating character boxes, and it exposes us at how much we look at the fucking screen to go check people's fucking characters' fucking names. Yeah.
For at least like a solid 4 weeks, I'm like, what's your character's name again? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're playing in
dude.
3 games a week. You need that.
You can see the IRL "Hello, my name is" sticker. Everybody has to put it on before they jump on stream. You know.
For an entire year's campaign, I called Recoil Radio.
I mean, to be fair, they're like the same person. Let's be real.
I mean, I was his favorite.
Ah, fuck Latash. The dude ran away in the first battle, and the rest of it fucking set the tone. He's hid in the outhouse. He was a dirty wook.
Goddamn wooks. Goddamn wooks.
I was a god.
That's the only character where you could turn a nat 1 into something good for you.
What can I say?
He fought better on his back.
It was bound to happen at some point. So.
No, it's true. He did. He fought much better after he threw his nat 1.
Okay, for context, in case
I've
you
seen that
didn't
video.
know, I was on a casting couch, and
We call that couch meme. You just say couch meme.
I can get
Couch meme.
I can get girls and guys like you $1,000 to $3,000 a day.
all you gotta do is roll ones.
Oh,
You guys are
man.
getting
Lucky
paid.
for you, I'm the best in the biz.
Oh my god.
As I become the proverbial spatula that peels us from that sticky pleather couch back into this campaign.
Oh, that's right. We're here to talk about D&D. Damn it.
Guys, can you tell it's been a while?
Oh yeah,
We missed
Been a
it.
while
save us from ourselves.
since I could hold it in my hand.
I really don't want to take a 2-month break from fucking D&D ever again. So if they could just not have a complete collapse of the hobby again while we have the holidays and I'm finishing 3 fucking campaigns, that'd be great. But
That's like really one of the saddest scenes, right? Like you're like, okay, Grandma, I'll see you next year. As you're like leaving holiday break, and you like close the door behind her, and just the house inside just implodes.
She's waving back at you, but she has a tear rolling down the side of her face, like, uh-huh.
Yeah, it'll be great. I'll see you next season.
little did I know, Grandma was already dead inside.
Yeah.
Literally.
Grandma's been dead inside since the 60s.
Oh,
Also, my system's broken, and everything you do that you try to correct it is, I'm gonna fuck you over with rolls.
so we did some good misdirection on the buildup of this.
Colorful.
And I have to say, if we didn't take the break, there is no possible way that I would have investigated Pathfinder 2nd edition in the fashion that I did. So we're going to explain kind of how all this went down and why we're doing the thing that we're doing. So what a lot of folks aren't talking about right now is, even though that the SRD has gone into Creative Commons and the open gaming license for 5th edition is still intact, the truth is they're going to create another gaming license, and that's going to start for the new content that they put out on D&D Beyond. And they have the full intentions of creating their own VTT on D&D Beyond, and more than likely they're going to make a walled garden. So everything that we've been doing on Foundry, we've been technically illegally using the API to bring the information from characters we create onto the VTT. So at some point in time, that's probably going to stop, and it's not going to be able to make your easy characters in D&D Beyond and then port them over. So we've been looking to consolidate to save resources for our players and to make the game easier and more efficient and play just in Foundry. But if you guys have ever played in the D&D version in Foundry, it's pretty bare bones. It really relies on all the other third-party modules and being linked up to your D&D Beyond to really work. So we started investigating other stuff. I went to take a look at Pathfinder and said, can I port RoBear E into Pathfinder? Because the difference there, they have a working relationship with Paizo. So there's an open dialogue. If you go on, every rule is already set in place inside Foundry. Every NPC is already statted there for you. So it's got all the goods imported in, but there's a lot of crunch and there's a lot of stuff that we have to cut out that we don't use. So it was a big old bad book that you got to be like, I need to use about 25% of it to tell the stories that I need to tell. So it was a lot of rereading this winter and going, I can use this, I can't use that. But what we came out with is a system that we're lovingly calling Wardens and Wayfinders. This is our dub and dub squared. That's our code word for RoBear E. So
yes.
Me and Feisty have done a lot of the mechanical changes over the break and made this new system in here. So largely,
I'm in the Matrix, actually. I'm always in the Matrix now.
Pretty much. You're going to see a lot of different shit, and it's going to be, parts of it are going to be more nuanced. Parts of it are going to be more streamlined. There's not as many saving throws. There's only 3 now. If you look onto these gorgeous character sheets that they have, because the Foundry volunteer team for Pathfinder 2nd Edition fucking rocks.
Oh, the sweet volunteer team.
You have fortitude, reflex, and will. So it's pretty much con, dex, and wisdom. Super easy, simplified now. Some things are more nuanced. You'll get to come along with the ride for us and learn a whole new fucking system. But for the most part, you're still talking about fucking core D&D. The stats still look the same. At the end, this was a game that was spun off of D&D 3.5 that has been essentially brought up to speed for the flexibility and the ease and accessibility that D&D 5th edition had. Overall, it's a more intimidating process for most people because it breaks everything kind of down by line item. And you'll see as we create a bunch of characters, you're gonna be like, holy shit, I actually have to read a bunch. And you do. You gotta cut the fat.
And then remember what you read. And remember, oh, I like that feat, but I didn't end up selecting it, yet it's still in my memory, and I keep asking you if I can do this thing. Well, is it a feat you selected? No, it's not a feat I selected. I just read it 80 times because I was deciding if I was going to keep that feat or not. Damn it.
If y'all hear me go silent for a little while, I'm probably Googling it. Like,
lots of Googling.
I'm clicking on something to click on something else to be like, what is this?
There was a reason I went with the character that was like, I don't know how to use my shit. That way I actually could get away with not knowing my shit.
I can do this.
It's not
me. Lost.
It's
I can
the other
roleplay
thing
lost.
that's controlling me. I'm just cursed. Don't blame me. Don't shoot the messenger.
So if you guys hop in and you set up a Pathfinder World 2nd edition inside of Foundry right now, everything will look just like this. This is their coding that's in there. It's gorgeous. It's drag and drop intuitive. We have created all the characters just inside Foundry. So it is doable, a process that's pretty rough on the 5e D&D side of Foundry. But this system gives us the ability to do all of our homebrew stuff and beyond. Before we start making a couple of the individual characters, I'm going to go over a key component of Pathfinder 2nd Edition that makes it so enticing. They have a 3-action economy for every character. It's set in stone, no matter whether you're a rogue or whether you're a fighter, everybody gets 3 actions. From there, that's where Warden and Wayfinders, our RoBear E takes over and starts to extrapolate that and extend it out. But what's going to make it interesting is you can swing 3 times for any character, but there is a penalty each time you go forward. So when you swing the first time, you're going to get your full plus 13 to strike on that short bow. But if you shoot the second time, there's a -5 penalty. You shoot a third time, there's a -10 penalty. And it stacks like that. Now, there are classes that alleviate the penalty, much like the one that you'll see radios, which we have already made a completely broken, awesome build, and I love it.
Is anybody else's ping going crazy, or is that just mine?
That's dropping a whole bunch of frames for me.
It's a
Yeah. Okay.
little.
Me too.
Good news is it's not on my
It, like,
side.
refreshed
Yeah, I was
my.
gonna say I looked at stream and stream is fine. So
Yeah, it looks like porn in 2003. Don't worry.
Oh God.
I'm just gonna refresh my whole browser, so I'll drop out of ping for a second.
Yes,
I'm
and
gonna
if
relaunch,
you are interested, Paizo is has a massive PDF bundle on Humble right now. It's worth it just for the module that they have listed, Abomination Vaults. It's $25, and you get the core rule set. I think you get the advanced book. You get the beginner's box set. And what's cool is you can go and link your account at Paizo, and you get discounts when you buy those products again virtually, which is fucking awesome. So if you buy the PDF, you only have to pay the cost that Foundry put in to digitize it, which is super dope. So I highly recommend that. Nobody else is doing that I know of. So if you buy them digitally on Demiplane, they count as well. Very, very cool.
How do we pronounce? Is it Paizo?
Let me in.
Paizo?
Oh, yeah. Knock knock.
I had to
on the
refresh my browser. My hardware acceleration wasn't on.
Oh my God. How do you live without hardware acceleration on? How is this?
Isn't that natively checked?
It is. but
Apparently
most-
not.
How do you
Wait, now I
play
check
an online game browser based without hardware acceleration? That's
When you're playing
impressive.
Candy Crush, it's not hard.
It's the fucking saga continues.
Accelerated.
I don't. You gotta learn really
Okay.
quick. Am I a streamer? Yes. I don't know how any of this works.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
I'm
just
really
click
good at
on.
showing up.
Really good.
You're 1 for 1 so far. So hey,
Yeah. And I was already stressing about that because I looked at the pin channel. I was like, where the fuck do I go?
There's so many kids. There's so many kids.
And I didn't want to be the
renamed
stupid
it?
kid that asks. I'm like, do I join this? What do I do?
That's usually me, so you're
98% of
fine.
streamers
So-
don't Google shit anyways. 98% of streamers have YouTubed all of their setup. They're like, how do I do this? Okay, then okay. And then when their setup breaks, they're like,
But there isn't a YouTube video for my specific issue.
Don't worry, the breakdown and build up of your entire audio will become one-on-one without the rest of these chuckle fucks. So
Yeah,
that's the day that you get to be reserved to cry.
it's fun.
Oh, I get
especially
that
when,
day?
Yes.
I can hear you
when your audio
exhaling.
just decides to
Can I
reset
write that
itself
down?
mid-game.
That's the day.
If you could stop breathing, that would be great for your microphone setup.
Feisty got to feel the wrath while I had one ear shut down. I believe once I went to one ear, I actually got better.
Yeah, well,
Right?
better for who?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All
My
right.
ego is still pushed all the way in.
Before we start and we dive into all these characters, I'm going to let everybody know a little bit about our setting that we got going on. So all the campaigns going forward are going to be set in my homebrew world of Faltura. And we're going to be building this out together. And we're going to go city, state by city, state.
How do we spell Faltura?
FALTURAPAL.
Oh, that's right.
JPEG.
You're a phonetic speller. You were
I
hooked on
almost fucking
phonics
wrote
too,
that.
weren't you?
Oh, dude, have you ever
this
seen me
is
type
great.
out? Dude, I
That's
can't
right.
even ands and ands. I'm fucking. It's
This
pathetic.
is gonna be so great.
Do you also do the Wednesday? Like
Wednesday, yes.
February.
That's the stupidest one.
So we're starting out
Still
with
think
essentially a city state that is 2 city states. So think of Baldur's Gate size that is above the water and Baldur's Gate that is also below the water. So we have a town of merfolk that have come up right up against the port city. So think of like New Orleans drinking above and below. So it gets rowdy. Not like there's not one side that's more rowdy than the next. Kind of like when you would have like a river town where it's like, oh, okay, it's really impoverished on this side. Both of them have their party-like atmosphere. And we have the politics of 2 different city states that have to coexist between a giant shipping port that needs the protection of merfolk in a very, very piracy-filled fucking ocean and monster overridden area, as well as that symbiotic relationship of the merfolk actually needing the rest of them. And that's the story of why the merfolk have had to migrate so close that we're going to really dig in and begin with. So this is our little adventure into Atlantis. I'm excited. We got a whole custom overlay for the folks on the Patreon. I just got some proofs back. They'll get to see the early proofs. And as we get to make changes, we got custom art coming in from Ben at MetaWorks. So all the stuff that you saw on Meteoring Core is getting done for this campaign, which I'm super excited about.
Fuck, I should have made a cooler character.
Adam's like, I'm gonna be a dude.
Just a guy.
That might change.
Disguised as another dude playing another dude.
The cool part about this process, we are going to do a initial shot of everybody that comes out, and we're going to do a limited edition print of the party, numbered, to start the banger off. It's going to be a real deal fucking art print. We're going to do a limited run of it, and we're going to take that art budget from that first one, and we're going to roll it right into the next one. So we plan on doing a art quality commission and print once a quarter to update. So it might be, the next one might be a battle scene, and then the next one will be like the party, how they've grown. Is there a new member? Did we kill somebody off and we need to make new art?
So when my
I'm so glad I made 3 characters.
Did I lose another digit off of my hand?
Yes.
Googling backup character.
Yes, yes.
No, you have to put Pathfinder 2E in front of the search. That's
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, so everybody can see now that, RoBear finally got paid for his Amazon gig, so he can go out and commission a whole shit ton of art.
woo, 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 woo. Got that Bezos bucks.
Yeah, so we're super excited. That's a dream come true. We love our artists, but art is not cheap. So we're making the things happen.
Pay for your art, so yeah.
Damn right. It's awesome to be able to get to start with it at the very beginning, so everybody gets their own mind's eye with their character set from the very beginning. We'll even have character templates that will run during the show at the very beginning. It's gonna have our stats on it.
Cool.
I'm fucking stoked. It's all paid for and done, ready to fucking rock and roll.
Look
So
at this. Look at
Excited,
this.
guys. I'm so excited.
We're a real show, guys.
So
We're a
cool.
real
Oh my
show.
God, so
Hey.
professional.
It could be dog shit D&D, and I'd be fucking ready after fucking 2 months. To be honest, fucking.
Don't worry, you signed up the right guy.
So you know what, Feisty, I'm gonna let you, since you have been the most active motherfucker on this besides me, I'm gonna let you talk about your fucking character first.
All right. So I mean, we're not gonna go into spoilers, but we're gonna go in a little like character creation type of world. So the idea that ended up, I mean, you looking at Pathfinder, it's insane compared to what you're used to with D&D world, right? Especially if you played D&D for a while, you're very familiar with the classes that are available to you, and you know that if you want a dual class, it's still the same classes that you have, you're just mixing them together. You look into Pathfinder world, and just the whole thing opens up. Any possible character you could think of, there's probably already a class for it, or an already written out archetype. And so that is exciting and also daunting at the same time, because that means that there's a lot of reading that you have to do in order to figure out what you actually want to do. So it really, for me, it kind of came down to what are some of my favorite like characters or shows to follow. And I love analytical shows that have like a dick main character, like House or like Sherlock Holmes, right? Those are like my favorite types of characters.
Oh.
I don't know.
Shocking. Feisty's gonna be an asshole in this game.
I don't know if that's how Bud's gonna end up being played out. That, you know, there's still a lot of room to work for it. But what that led me to was a very analytical type character. Stumbled upon Investigator. It's like, oh, okay, that looks cool. Let me start reading about this. Well, Investigator was like no other fucking class I'd ever read before. It took a while before I really was able to wrap my head around what the Investigator class is really there for, what it does, why they built it. It's in the same realm as like a rogue. So when you think of a rogue, you know, you think of a character that's very specialized in, you know, doing like a one-shot in combat, doing a one-shot, a lot of damage behind that shot. And if you miss, go pound sand. If you hit, everybody cheers your name. What's really cool about the Investigator class is you have that mechanic to a slightly less degree, but you have a lot of written mechanics for role-playing opportunity. So you have a lot of things that you can do that are building an underground network of people in a city that you're in. You can then do a role and it has it written out what the DC should be, what skill set you should build for doing that role. And then, you know, you accomplish that role and you get to meet the criminal lord of that network that you had been, you know, trying to build up or whatever it is.
If you're used to face characters inside of Shadowrun or Cyberpunk, it's a face character that can do a lot of actionable RP things, like opening letters and sealing them back up, activities of espionage of that sort, and actually having something cool mechanically to deduce. So if you think of the way they did combat with the modern Sherlock Holmes, that's how his character deciphers battle. He sits there, looks for the weakness, and then has a very roguelike mechanic that does similar to sneak attack damage.
And that's a good segue, because that's like a really cool piece that they built in for this is, you know, your key stat for this character is intelligence, which, you know, typically when you see that, that means that you're casting some sort of spell to get your damage off. Well, what they built for this is devise a stratagem. So you look at the battlefield, you look at your target that you're wanting to shoot against, and if you see a good strategy opportunity, you can swap your intelligence modifier for your dex or strength with a finesse or agile or ranged weapon, and then also add additional dice to that damage roll if it hits.
It's probably one of the more nuanced ones that's out of the gate, but for folks that are looking for something that's slightly more complex, you'll get to see it as me and Feisty decipher how to best give it value. It also helps me, and it kind of ups my game, because I know that what I need to make out of a scene needs to be more layered than just face value a lot of times, because his character needs to have Easter eggs. Right. So you get to... horseshoe those in.
Because that's what we like. One of the things I felt like we've not necessarily struggled with, but something that we might have lacked is like, how do we navigate these longer story arcs? We just do it with spoken word. This character gives us like actual written mechanics for how to navigate some of these mysteries and puzzles that we might not have been able to as easily implement in the campaign. So there's been a lot of work with me and RoBear of like, okay, so I'm gonna pick these feats and I'm letting you know this because later on in the game, I'm going to annoy you by asking you, hey, I'm in a new room. If there's anything odd in this room.
So,
but I gotta roll for it.
Just subscribed. So happy to see this absolutely stacked crew. Looking forward to some awesome D&D and new beginnings.
Yo, appreciate it. Thanks for the love and the kind words, yo. So, the real news. What's your fucking class? Or not what's your class? What's your ancestry heritage?
Character.
Yeah. All right. So the actual character, now we've got some framework for it, right? So the actual character is I'm playing a Gripply. So the Gripply is like
there you go.
The Gripply is
frog
a frog
folk!
Yeah, frog folk. And the idea with that is, especially with where this campaign setting is, the frog folk come from the backwood bogs next to the fancy merfolk town. So
Are you
we
the
got
dude
our...
from Knives Out. Really? Did you just make that?
Oh shit! Oh man, I could not be as good looking as Daniel Craig.
Let's get froggy.
So we got a Gripply, we got a frog folk, humanoid frog folk, investigator class, detective background.
So this is important for this going on. If you're familiar with Pathfinder 2e, we won't be using any of their verbiage. So you won't hear us say Gripply during the game. It will all be skinned over. It'll just be frog folk. You won't hear us. We won't be talking about anything inside of their IP whatsoever. It'll be 100% skinned over for our world. Now, you'll have to think of it just like when we play and we dip in. If we do something inside Paizo's world, it will be announced in that multiverse way where things coexist side by side. However, this will be our own deal, and you'll find the parallels within it. But if you're looking for those recognition pieces like you would do when we would play in Forgotten Realms, largely we won't be doing that anymore, whether it's D&D or Pathfinder. So, since I know Timmy is short on time.
Yeah, let's go ahead and we can transfer it over.
All right, so the inspiration for my character came from right away. I had already picked that I was going to be a goblin. I picked this. I make my characters, like the ideas for my characters come way ahead of time. So Goblin was my backup character for the, I think it was the Eberron campaign. I was going to be a goblin. I've always like I like little folk. I like halflings. I like gnomes. I like goblins. Shit like that. So I wanted to be a goblin because I've never been a goblin. And what are goblins? They're fucking maniacs. Goblins are maniacs. And so this system with all its different classes allowed. There's several that you could be a maniac with, and I wanted to be like I wanted to be an inventor of some sort, but then I was like, what would a maniac inventor be? Oh, it would be what if MacGyver was a meth head?
Oh,
cool.
God.
What an amalgamation.
I am a goblin
Just imagining
alchemist.
the pictures on the wall, just
Yeah.
oh yes.
There's a lot of little red strings.
Numbers, Mason.
Yeah, so it's like I'm a goblin alchemist. I thought when I saw alchemist, I was like, that's a great idea. I think that's really fun. It lends itself very nicely to a lot of like in action, in combat roleplay, which I love. That's where I shine in roleplay. And so I was like, cool, I can do that. And then like as it just the ball started rolling, I was like, yeah, he's like I said, he's gonna be what if MacGyver was a meth head? And it fits really well. I didn't even know the world that RoBear was gonna build, but this fits really well with your Florida man theory. If we're in the back bog, you got to have a Florida man somewhere, and I am that Florida man.
We've got some synergies.
Mud, I know you're in here subbing. We're not talking about you, okay? Okay. Different Florida man.
Yeah, Mud's totally different Florida man. This is not based on you at all. I assure you. It's just tangential. That's it.
I just saw his message. I want my sub back. I enjoy this Pathfinder.
Yeah, so that's the basic idea, and I didn't even really go into. I haven't played Pathfinder in over 10 years, but so I didn't really even go into what an alchemist actually does until built the character and started like pulling it through. And there's a lot of very interesting things that I'm going to be able to do. That's going to lend to just crazy antics.
The thing I'm most excited for is you have a crafting system that rewards you for wanting to craft new and exciting shit, and it's there.
Yeah, on the fly as well. So it's not like I have to prepare the battle, stuff like that. The one of the feats that you can pick as an alchemist is you can craft on the fly. You can use one of your 3 actions to craft everything you need for this round and the next round. So provided you have the reagents.
In quick alchemy, it's literally making D&D meth one-hitters that are volatile and they do more damage. And I'm here for it.
Scale. As opposed to any other grenade in Dungeons and Dragons, right? You throw a bomb and it's like a DC 13 and you're, 18th level and it does nothing.
It does nothing to your person. This scales with me. So the more I make it, the more that we level, the better I get at it, and the harder it is for you to avoid my shit.
So good. So good.
And we are starting out
Go ahead.
at 5th level, by the way.
Yeah.
I went back and forth. You can build out a fully functional character at 1.
That's news to me.
What
I was
What did we go through last night?
No.
Each the course of like 4 hours, and he's like, "Okay, we're starting level 1." Like an hour went by.
Okay.
All right, let's do level 2.
Let's 2. No, let's go back to 3.
Let's do 3. All right, no. You know what? You don't get this until 4, so we're doing 4. God damn it, fuck it. We're doing 5 again. We're back to 5.
We're just back to 5. Everybody gets their shit then. It's like literally every class has something to complain about until fucking 5, and then everybody's fucking happy.
Yep.
Like
I wanted 6. No.
Adam, you're never going to be fucking happy.
I was under the impression we were level 1, so I'm like, oh, okay, all right, fair enough.
Well, now you don't get critted by a goblin and die on the first episode, so that's there.
Or drugged and overdosed.
It would be.
So
I would be that goblin. That
we're
would be
investing into art, so we can't have characters die episode 2.
So
Okay.
is your
That's a pretty valid point.
Tim, is your character Crack the Cook?
It is. His name is Crack the Cook.
Yeah,
Is
that's
there any-
making a lot more sense now that you're saying it.
I'm excited for a voice, but I don't want to hear it yet. I want to wait.
I'm still trying to figure out the voice, so I have a whole week to do this.
It's gonna be a lot of mirror talking to yourself. I do that a lot. I'm like, what's this voice gonna sound like?
I'll be honest. I'm ready for it just to be an extension of Brucey's personality. That's manic.
That's where the maniac came from. Is I was so much in love with Brucey, so much, because like I played Arconan, very serious or whatever, didn't really get jokes, very deadpan, and secret side note, if anybody didn't figure out from the episode where everybody basically had an orgy and Arconan didn't participate, is because Arconan was asexual. So if he lends himself to that whole, like, he just doesn't take pleasure in anything.
Right.
Well, good for you, because I got fucked by everybody.
Catch me.
Wait, hold on. If we're talking about the guild hall, I'm pretty sure she f***ed me, okay?
Oh, yeah, that's what happens if you go to the beginning of the YouTube before we cut to black way sooner.
I don't remember this, but I'm gonna have to do some research.
You were drinking that episode pretty heavily, and so some stuff came out.
Some stuff came out.
like that.
Maybe you don't want to find that bot.
I love how everybody looks at the earlier episodes and they go, wow,
guys, it's been
you
real.
guys used to drink a lot. Well, when you only play D&D once a week.
And to be fair, like, you're dealing with some COVID and BS, you're like, yeah, fuck it, we're drinking. Like,
Oh my god,
You,
yeah.
you are seeing peak unemployed wasteland D&D. Like literally all we did was dine in D&D for 2 straight years because we couldn't fucking go out.
Do you guys want to go out to eat? No, we can't. Well, I guess we'll go play D&D and go out to eat.
Yeah.
Oh my
So-
god.
So to Robert's point, like the idea of being a maniac came from Brucey because I loved that character because that's where I was like, oh, it was like playing characters that are like NPCs that I made in my home game. I made the most ridiculous NPC characters because I wanted to like have fun with what I'm doing, and this like Brucey was a very great extension of that, and this is an even further extension of it.
So
You know, I got to give you some kudos real quick because it's not easy to play a crazy loony character in a long-running campaign.
It's tough.
It's a lot of balancing, and you do it well. So
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
excited for more of that because you play that role really well, and you know where the line is, and you know how to maintain that balance.
Well, there's even
Sorry to
even,
cut you off, Adam.
No, that's perfect. I really appreciate the compliment. The great thing about that is you have to know when's an appropriate time to really throw the shit at the wall and fuck up your entire party, and when it is you have to step back and be like, this is a moment you can't do that.
Yep.
reading the room, as it
Yeah.
were. I just have one question. We're talking about Brucey, and we're talking about Crack the cook. Brucey had a condition. I'm hoping that Crack has insomnia and can never sleep. Because Brucey
that
fell
to you.
asleep all the time. Crack, I feel like, is going to be awake all the time.
I'll do that too.
Crack
okay.
needs 1.25 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Has
Full rest.
triple fucking advantage on initiative rolls
Yeah.
for who's up in the morning.
But
Triple advantage.
every 17 days he sleeps for 3.
Right. Yeah. This is our out for your schedule conflicts. This is our out.
I'm going to dominate monsters so I can just puppet you when you're passed out for 3 days.
Yeah.
Fight them.
Oh, hey, Ice, do you have your mic muted in ping?
Yes.
Sweet. I heard an echo on somebody's for a second.
I've been hearing it for a little bit here and there.
I know it says it has a mic with a cross on it. I swear.
No, I don't think it's you. We're just saying that we
No,
hear it.
with all of us on here, it's impossible to tell.
Yeah, everybody's got headphones on, so it can't be a speaker or anything.
Radio sometimes has a fucking.
Yeah, he's got that monitor set up
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it secretly.
secretly.
Me, am I the problem? Is this a hazing? I was taking care of the dog. I had to throw the blanket on her for a second. She's good now.
I haven't heard it
No.
for a minute now that we've been talking. So
Probably just when we all started talking, it just got crazy. But Crack the cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
boy.
Are we waiting for Art to describe the character, or are we just going to do it like at the introduction of the next episode?
yeah, they got enough. They got a goblin alchemist.
They get a taste. They get a taste.
Yeah,
right?
you
You
take
never
with that
full
what you
supply.
will.
You just give them the taste early, Crack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You bring them out.
just gotta give him a little bit, man.
give him
Just
a
a
little
little-
supply. Yeah.
Gotta give him that good stuff first, and then just trickle it down from there.
Then you just get cut shit from here on
Pure
out.
content. Next week, it's going to be about 85%.
It's gonna be cut with a lot of like dick jokes next week.
Mostly
Same.
from Feisty.
Same. Yep. Mainly the dick joke.
And he's got a wonderful sheet. That's great.
That's great. Also, for anybody who hasn't played Pathfinder or P2E, get ready for very high numbers that you're not used to in D&D. It gets ridiculous how high these numbers get.
Yeah, it is.
The sliding scale, like he's a goblin. He's got an AC 23.
Yeah, it seems.
How does that
ridiculous.
work?
Yeah, that shows you just how bad it can get. Pathfinder's designed around where you can fight one monster with a party. So
Yeah.
it's exciting for me not to have to throw a bucket load of ads to make one thing work. You could make big bad single villains if you want. Now, with us being a party of 6
gonna
and
be some
scaled up with wardens and wayfinders with how we kind of make this superhero shit. It'll be a little bit more, but not like what we have to throw the kitchen sink with 5e. 5e, I can throw an ancient dragon out and they can be done with it in 2 rounds. This will be a different story, but yeah, I'm super excited about this. You're gonna see some things that didn't exist before with his class, like persistent damage, which is pre-calculated in here. All the hard math is taken care of, and that's the exciting
part. They did a really good job with this interface. Now that I'm looking at it a little bit more, I was going to ask that before we went live, but like it looks like all of my feats and everything and all my like ridiculous things that get added are already like calculated when I roll, which is crazy good.
So
I just got to remember some of the other stuff.
This is the big one right here, is this pop-up, and all the stuff that's like situational is there and striked out. But you see it before you roll, so you're like, oh shit, no, this is that situation. I needed to toggle that on or toggle that off.
Where'd you get that pop-up?
Just by clicking on the strike button.
Yeah, like once you go to attack, it'll like pop up.
Yep.
And it happens, and it's the same thing for when you do a skill check or any of these rolls.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
and you get these like super friendly reminders for those situational feats that you have.
And there's your stuff that you add. So for chat, when we're playing stream loots, you guys are used to seeing us tack on a bunch of big extra dice. Now it's going to be all about tacking on +1s and stacking them up, because you can crit by being 10 over the DC or AC of a challenge. Then you could also crit with a nat 20. Same way with your nat fails.
Chat's saying some things like the stream died or something. I don't know.
Yeah, stream died on Twitch for sure.
Huh?
Day 1. Let's go. Let's go. Ah!
How dare you? How dare you, Twitch? How's YouTube?
I bring the tech issues with me.
Oh, yeah. Make a big poo-poo.
I'm sending a message right now. Please hold, your call is important to us. The next available stream will be with you.
We hit the seam and we at 48 hours? Shit.
In the meantime, beans.
We are